right, nice job. Good set. Let's do some social kick.
Nailed it.
Boom.
Jackpot. Let's talk jackpots.
Jackpot time.
A lot of jackpots.
What do you think of them?
I've been advocating for jackpots this whole time.
You like how they're set up though?
I don't know that I like how it's set up,
Yeah.
but I think, well, actually, I guess it's just down to the thresholds.
Yeah.
And I think that's the piece that I haven't watched it closely enough to understand if I think they're fair thresholds.
Yeah.
But because it's happening more frequently than I expected it to.
I mean,
but
especially that first match.
I love the idea of being able to steal points. I think it's awesome.
I like it too.
I still think that the jackpot should be based on touching the wall and getting out of the pool with 2 feet and raising your arms. And as soon as you get out of the pool with 2 feet, that's when the clock starts for jackpot.
We don't need sportsmanship in this sport.
Of course not.
Get on the lane line.
I mean, I like the jackpots. I just think it all circles back to having a draft or some way to make teams maybe a little more even. Because I know people are like, oh, well, it's making the strong stronger. But I think if they had a draft or something where it was more evened out, then this would be great. It would do what it's, I think, meant to do, which is prevent people from sandbagging and allow someone that's really good to be a superhero that they keep kind of suggesting in a lot of the ISL
It's going to be a superstar league.
Boom.
No, but it's also doing a good job to move the entire league forward and better. So everybody is driven to improve. So the next year, everybody gets faster, 1 through 8. However, do we have the depth to make sure the jackpot time isn't ridiculous? Only one person steals all the points. So I think so far the numbers are okay. You're seeing it sometimes, you're seeing that. Imagine if it was every race at a jackpot.
Yeah, it's not every race. It's maybe, I don't know, three a match.
They did a good job, I think, so far.
Or 3 or 4 a day. I do think some people brought to light the skins jackpots get a little odd because you're like stealing from your own team, or maybe you move on to the final 2 and then you don't get any points past the first round.
That one's weird. There's obviously some tweaks, but I mean, I don't blame the ISL for not having it fully figured out in every scenario.
Big time. I think it's a
kind of creative idea. Play out.
Like, I think that and the picking the different skins or picking the different stroke for the skins are 2 really creative things I would have never thought of that make it fun.
That's a major wild card.
Yeah, and mix it up. And obviously it didn't really play out where it provided too much variation, I think. Like, I think the teams that were going to win on the results. But we'll see at the finals when you have, like, 4 teams that are really competitive. That picking the skins is going to be huge, right? Especially if you have, like, 1 weak leg. Like, I think the Centurions are like, we were good if they picked anything but backstroke. Oh, they picked backstroke, and they got 7th and 8th, I think, on it, and we're
just the word jackpot makes me think that there should be a way that the team that wins another relay or can choose the event and also can, like, double down. Can be like, you know what? And we're going for double, all or nothing, like double or nothing. Because, like, if we don't win this, we lose it all. Like, what if they can, like, we want up like a +4 points on top? So I'm not calling it betting, but
I think they want to get into betting. Isn't that what we've heard from people?
We heard from that. But it makes me think of that. Like, wouldn't it be cool? Like, you're so confident you can win that you're gonna put all your money behind this one horse.
That's interesting. And wager points.
And wager points. Wager points.
And the other team steals them.
And the other points can steal it if you don't make that differential. If you don't, like, say. And
so you're like, I'm Lily King. We're gonna bet my whole team's points. Lily King wins the 50 breast. Do we have to take that wager?
All of a sudden, I mean, Aqua Centurions can have 1 stud, and they can suddenly go from 4th to 2nd because they just wagered on Fabio or something. Anyway, it's so much development. It's fun. It's how you make it fun for TV.
Yeah, and I think that sort of thing could evolve if we've got real-time results and points tracking and
they need a point tracker right on the screen
in such a good way. It's not there yet. The complexity of the points, gaining points and subtracting points and times and all that, I think it's too much right now for anybody on deck to process.
No, on deck, I think they see it, and I would love to know.
Well, I heard a few times where they're like, "Oh, for the jackpot, it's 0.86. That needs to be on the screen for the event."
Yeah.
But they did a good job on the second match where they said points stolen in the lane in red, which made it clear. But they need like a point tracker. They need the time there. They don't need everyone's individual ranking on the bottom the whole event, which was kind of interesting to see and maybe help people with the names of the athletes. But I don't know.
Are we live? Is anybody watching us?
No one's watching.
If you get your points stolen, Nickelodeon slime. That's what I want to
You
happen.
swim through slime or it just lands on you?
It just lands on you.
They throw you in the deep end, the slime
Yeah,
lane.
yeah, you just get nailed right there. And they got some
25
theme
reverse
music.
breaststroke in the slime lane.
You know, Australia used to have a skins meet back in the day that it was a choice 200 IM where you'd go up and the timekeeper would have you just pick the order of the 200 IM event. So you didn't know until
Yeah.
like minutes before you race what the order is 200 IM. Would it
That's
be cool
fun.
to have that kind of like quick adaptation and show versatility?
I mean, I think that's kind of what they're doing a little with like the relays, where it's like things are changing within the meet.
Yeah.
So I do think part of that is nice, but I do think them being able to prep a little, like a day before, something like that, makes it
Yeah.
interesting. Or it's like it brings some standardization.
I mean, the element that you're introducing with that, though, I think is interesting
Yeah.
because it's something
look of
that
smart.
as swimmers we're not used to doing. Ever.
Right. Yeah.
We always know what's coming.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you're, well, we talked ad nauseum on the podcast about coaches implementing other swimmers, and this year for sure, deal with the things that you can't control, and having to be adaptable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the ultimate of being adaptable is not actually
But we are
knowing
like
what
that in
you're racing,
workouts.
and then boom, you got to go do this.
Did you guys prefer when your coach wrote the whole workout on the whiteboard, or you just told you what the next set was, the next set was, the next set was?
The whole set.
But yeah,
I want the
whiteboard.
whole workout.
You want the whole workout when you come on deck, you know exactly what it was.
I do. I don't know if it was best for me, but I definitely liked it.
I mean, there's definitely development that comes from you're doing 2100s and you go all out on the last,
So you knew-
last effort, and then
And then your
Then they
coach
go-
says one more.
we're gonna do one more,
And
then
that's
you do that one
the
more,
look on your face.
and then they go, and we're gonna do one more, and,
And
you're
that's
like,
the
oh,
that's so you're used to it. So
Yeah,
the
yeah.
reaction to that, you're used to like stepping up again and doing last one, fast one again. Let's do it again. So
I hate that phrase.
What?
it's true because he likes fast
Last
one.
one, fast
He
again.
likes all them.
Well, if you're supposed
Fast
to go
step.
all out, go all out. I don't like saving up.
1050s, all out max on 1 minute.
But I
Best
also,
ad.
I'm gonna play out both sides of this. I also don't like people calling it all out when it's not all out. Fast. Well, is it fast?
Barrel
Or is it
fast
fast
is relative.
for 10? So it's threshold.
Exactly. All out,
Like,
max
or
effort,
VO2
125.
max. Yeah.
I remember coaches saying this, and you must never say it's swim hard and swim easy because it's not hard. It's not easy. Swimmers didn't like that. And Beryl was on a podcast recently, the Swim Swam one, I think, and she talked about her coach says good, very good, very, 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 very good. So what's
That
a
must
good?
be annoying to say.
But what's a good way to like tell a swimmer it's the faster, fastest? Like what
Yeah.
percentage?
Yeah. I don't know.
Percentage.
Or I mean, I don't know.
Colors?
You got programs using the colors. I never did the colors.
I never did colors.
Yeah, I haven't either. But yeah, you just do their verbal percentage of max, right?
It was always hard and
What if
easy
it's
when
a-
I was growing up.
Yeah, what if there's elements of, fast and form? It's not easy. It's good form, good technique. So you just, I don't know, kind of break it down in elements of what the focus is. So you go form, fast, race, something like that. That's what I would do. I'm not a coach.
we need to pay attention to quality and form, and absolutely, and that's hard to do sometimes. That's
Especially
a mental
you.
toughness.
Oh,
No
I've
quality,
got it down.
No
I
form,
race
no
any
class.
46-year-old out there, bring it on. Except
right.
for Josh Davis,
any
Brett Hogg, and-
46-year-old.
I'm joking.
Whoa.
What's his name?
Except for-
Steve West, 200 breast.
except for Steve West, except for,
Okay, but we get to call what the race is, and you don't know what it is.
and I get to put fins on.
Till you're in the air on the start. You want that? It's like a jump diver twist. Take your mark. Go gutter fly. Man, the dude's like, no.
The jump diver twist is crazy.
So those who are watching us live, our one person, this is what
They already left.
they already left. Yep, this is our podcast live behind the scenes, so you can see. Yep, you have to ready.
Nailed it.
Nail it.
All right,
Yeah.
so back to the race and the meet. Anyone, now that we've had a couple days, anyone stand out? I know we talked a little about some surprises, but anyone have any other surprises from the meet that people that did really well that we didn't expect?
Well, I mean, I guess after seeing day one, Katinka came back and had a great day too.
She at least got the wins, right? She wasn't killing people or jackpot timing people much, but she at least got the wins,
No,
right?
and I guess she was 6 months out of the water too. So
Yeah.
you know, and then I thought, well, I mean, it's easy to say that Apple really stood out, but I mean, I think even relative to it was especially magnified by the fact that you didn't have the other elite sprinters
Sure.
In his
But
his
still-
squad.
He went
He still went
45-1.
fast,
That's he said
But he still went
fastest.
really fast.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the
I think
fastest
it,
fit of everybody.
And 50
it
to
was
200,
both,
right?
but it was certainly magnified by the fact that he had an open, a little bit more of an open race, and he closed that 200 really well too.
Yeah.
The Duncan Scott was, I almost would have expected the roles to be reversed, and they swam it reverse of how I would have thought was going to happen. When I saw the times, I didn't see it live. Apple closed really well,
Yeah.
so I don't know, man. That guy's could be scary for next summer.
I think so. He's been up and up and up, right? In that range, I think that's going to bode really well for that 100 long course. And he's already put up some good 100 long courses, right?
You know what stood out for me? It wasn't individuals. There's just more cultures. Maybe because we're familiar with the coaching staff at the LA Current and we're familiar with the philosophy and the coaching staff and GM of DC Trident. But I definitely felt as though the DC Trident stepped up in so many places I didn't expect them to. And I felt as though it came down to their team culture where they're out to have fun, relax, get together, and just swim fast. And I saw, some relay wins and some individual wins, and I saw that. And then I just saw a really well coached, managed LA Current team. How they put together those relays, some of them, how they Tom came out the gates and won the first men's event. It looked like it was so well thought out how they coached those relays together. So I'm definitely biased because we know those teams pretty well, but those two teams stood out to me of how they came together. And then what Mel Marshall did for the London Raw and made some very strategic changes for the skins calls and how she would, she thought about it a lot. That was also stood out. So I definitely had the management of the teams and the cultures stood out. It was well done, well adjusted, which is what you need.
Yeah.
You mentioned London. We were talking about how heavily impacted they were by the Australians.
I was saying I was worried about their women
What
when we did the preview on day one. I was worried about the Roar women, and nothing to be worried about.
Apparently not.
I mean, they looked great.
Because we forgot about Waddle. We didn't realize Aaliyah could play so high in so many events.
Yeah.
We didn't. Super strong.
Or they're still really impacted, but they
Toussaint.
would have been
Toussaint.
the best team in the league.
Yeah, I think they would have, because I think one of their relays, like the 4x1 women's free, got 8th, their B. But I think they would have been so much better, that B relay, if they had those Aussies. They have 3 great freestylers, at least 3, not included on that. So I think we'll see how it pans out if this happens again next year and the Aussies are back in it, and if the teams don't change much, because the Roar would be really good.
What was your favorite race of the 40s? Favorite race you saw?
Favorite race?
What race would you stood up like, wow, I really enjoyed watching that as a swimming fan?
Maybe Murphy Skins.
Why?
Just he dominated.
He was just confident and he just
Confident, just I don't know, just fun to watch, personally. Or maybe the women's 50 breast on the first match to see your youngster push Lily King and almost get the win.
Any relays were exciting for you to see Rooney come back or to see the 400 with Dumont pass? We had some, but that was just standard
those
racing,
are good ones,
right?
right? Those are good races.
But
yeah, those ones at least stand out in my mind. How about you? You just named a few of those ones that you liked?
Yeah, I just like to see I like to see good racing, and I like to see those young swimmers get up there and race. Yeah. So that was good. But what I enjoyed was seeing the difference between people going up to race and people using their experience and their confidence as being swimming for 5 years at top level, and they used that in this event. Murphy used that. King used that. The Brunomi used that. They used their experience, knowing when to put it on, when to do that turn, when to hammer down. Sarah knew when to not breathe that last 25. So I think I enjoyed just seeing the experience of the veteran racers.
I think another thing I liked is, I also, in this guy, what did he win? We talked about him. He won the 200 fly?
Oh, 200 fly.
In the second match, what's his name? I'm blanking on it now. Vinny.
Oh, Vinny Lanza.
Talk about a guy stepping up, doing a ton of different events, not like a Katinka or a Sarah that you associate with doing all these. And like we talked about, I think in the pregame, he probably had to do the 400 free because because James Guy and a few of those guys probably weren't there for the Roar, so he had to step up. And he didn't get negative points. He won an event. He was pivotal on a relay. He got third in like the 50 fly. I mean, he was all over the place.
Yeah,
So that was fun to watch. It's like when you deep dive it, that was fun to see.
What's his background? What's his story?
He went to IU. He was pretty versatile, like 100 fly, 200 fly.
He's American, right?
No, Brazilian.
He's Brazilian. That's right.
Yeah,
But he swam at IU.
NCAA
was-
champion.
I know the name,
He-
of course,
he
but I
was
didn't know
good.
his backstory too much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I had no idea you could do a 400 free short course meters and not get jackpot
yeah,
time.
really. What do you guys think about distance events?
What's a distance event to you?
The 400s.
I thought you were going to say
400,
100 free. 100 free long course distance.
Anything longer than 75.
I mean, I still am a proponent that ISL should keep their stuff together and be one day 200 down per match.
The 400s just seem lost to me.
It's
come-
amazing that they seem so long, and they're doing what you do during the Mile Olympics. They're interviewing the coach
Rowdy and
during
Brady
it.
bringing the coach and
During the
stuff.
400, they're
400.
bringing in a coach to talk. It's just like
But you're talking about having, I mean,
Three
so you
and a half
just gave an
days.
example of the contrary, but sort of. Like, you've got people who are in these events who, I mean, yes, you've got definitely people on some of these rosters in the 400s that are longer distance swimmers, that are coming down to the 400 instead of 200 to 400
Right,
and stretching to
Ukrainian
the 4.
Ramachek.
Yeah, and I
Romanchuk,
mean,
yeah, Romanchuk, yeah.
you know, that's just a bold roster decision. I mean, there are points available. And you got people like Zane, who's, you know,
Yeah,
has a great
contributing.
swim of the 400 free.
Raps is unbelievable.
Does the 400 IM because it's 400.
Yeah,
So it's
get
so
in there, guys.
It's more hundreds.
You
You know,
know
what people
that.
are doing. You know, but it's like I'm just not sure about it. To me, it just feels like it's out of place.
No,
There's the rest of the meet going on over here, and then there's like 400. It's almost like they're the diving of
it is.
the
And
ISL.
I hate to say it, but yeah, I think it's just they're included, or it's included because that's just so
No
much
offense to
tradition. Right?
divers, they're great divers. You know this.
Yeah, hey, Purdue
Yeah,
diving and
yeah,
swimming.
that's
We'll
right.
take every
That's
point they
right.
can get. That's all we
Yeah.
get at NCs. But
We have
I think
never had a
200
dive in
down,
Trinidad
maybe
history.
limit the relays a little, skins one day. I don't know. I think that would be, if they were really going after the general viewer, I think that would be more digestible. I mean, other sports I know do multiple days like tennis or golf, but I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like maybe I'm starting to kind of like the 2-day thing.
Yeah.
Because it's not feasible to see all the athletes swim at a high level in all the events that we want to see them in
Yeah.
that short of a format.
That's
And
true.
I mean, I just don't think that. I mean, college dual meets you have to do it, but the thing that you give up is the 50s of stroke.
Yeah.
And
Very-
other relays.
relays and 2 IM or 4 IM. You know,
Yeah, and an
little
IM,
exceptions
right?
there,
So
There
right?
are a lot of relays, I have to say. Do you think that
Yeah.
there's one too many relays?
I think there's
maybe?
one too many. I do.
I'm
I
with
agree.
you there, but
I
I
also
still
don't think there should be relays.
Why? Why is it be reels? I don't. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, it's all about the depth, making sure you have a full team, right? But yeah, I'm not
It's just-
saying like they must keep it, but I think that's their rationale behind
I
it.
think it just crowds the pool. It makes it confusing to watch.
Just go head to head. Your 4 top go.
Do a skins relay.
Skins relay.
Oh, that'd be awful.
Would
Yeah.
be interesting though. 4x1.
4x25.
Yeah, exactly. 4x25 skins relay.
Well, we'll see how this goes. So I mean, with skins now, you can choose your stroke, but it's all still 50s, right? So
Yeah.
it's which it should stay that way. But I don't know. Maybe it should do 25.
Listen, who has died the
With a
most
runner.
in the skins race over the last 2 seasons so far? And I'm thinking of
Ben
Ben
one.
Proud.
One.
Oh yeah, Ben Proud. He dropped like a 24 on one of those, I think. What was up? He might have been.
Who
like
are you
the-
gonna say?
Mark. Mark's legs
Oh,
died and
yeah.
hurt.
He died,
I
yeah,
haven't
yeah.
seen somebody come off the wall, pop up, half body length, and looking great, and all of a sudden the legs are like, yeah,
Ooh,
we're
bucket
done.
of yuck.
Proud was a disappointment. Speaking of him, I think he got 8th in the 53 in the first
We
meet.
don't know where he.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
I mean, you don't know where they're at, but I mean, he was
However,
he made the finals
I-
of the skills.
could you imagine if Chad, Proud, all these swimmers haven't been able to train, haven't been able to race, they're so out of it. Do you think it's going to take them 5 weeks to get back into it? And all of a sudden, you're going to see a whole change. Like these swimmers are just all they're doing is training and racing and focusing.
Yeah,
You
but
think
those
you're gonna
guys
see
have
a-
been training, right? I mean,
Well-
access. I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't know. If it's
Yeah,
like
but the
healthy.
energy standard guys get to go to Gloria, but like Chad had restrictions with South Africa, and I know. I'm interested to see them now have a good 5 weeks base they can put down and lift and do what have you. But Beryl was talking today because we spoke to Beryl Gastadello today, and she was talking about it was still difficult for her to figure out, sort out her routine, even from a training perspective, being there. And you can imagine, you've got 200 world's best athletes, you've got 2 pools and one, I don't know, I'm guessing one gym.
Yeah, each team that has 3 or 4 coaches, right?
So it's
Even if
hard
they're
to do
not
with
running
them.
your set, they need splits and stuff like that.
How is Beryl going to do a 4-hour lift every other day like she does? She can't because the gym is crowded, I'm assuming. How are you going to get a lane to yourself to swim side by side and do your sprints like you want to do? It's going to be tough. So, but at the same time, you are getting to swim next to your competitor, your world record holder, what have you. So you use that as well. So it's just give and take.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's good practice just getting used to not being able to control every little thing, which is kind of a weird thing because a lot of times you say, well, when you travel to meets, try to do everything normal. Don't change your diet, don't change things. But the reality is, as soon as you travel for competition, freaking everything changes. And
You don't have your towel.
the one that
everything.
we talk about the least, you're sleeping in a different bed.
Yeah.
In
Whole
that
different
bed,
environment.
like it could be a really soft, or really hard one, and it's like nobody ever talks about that. But
sorry.
that's such a huge adjustment.
Their beds.
Big
That's
time.
just one thing.
So they all showed their rooms. They're like, here's my room. They walked in. Nice rooms. A lot of them have balconies. And they're like, oh, here's a king size bed. It was 2 singles. I hate 2 single beds.
Yeah, I don't know why they do that.
Like I can fall in the crack.
Uh-huh.
It's not useful.
Yeah. It's a king room. 2 pushed together.
2 pushed together.
Well, that's all it is underneath, anyway.
It is, but give me
King
one
box
mattress.
springs are just 2.
Give me a mattress.
You're from the Caribbean, man. Don't you just sleep
We
on a
didn't-
banana leaf
We
or
didn't have
something?
king beds in there. We didn't have-
Just
we-
bring a hammock.
By the way, 2 of the 200 swimmers are from the Caribbean.
Who?
That's pretty sad.
Oh, 2 of the whole 200. Not
That's
even 200
1%.
distance.
That's 1%.
Well, how many of the swimmers in the whole world are from the Caribbean?
0%.
In the top,
Yeah.
200.
Yeah, you're doing great.
Sure.
You got it.
Yeah, we got it. We got it.
Yeah. What happened to 200 swimming in Caribbean?
200 swimming in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Not a focus.
I don't think the coaches know how to. I don't. I haven't been in the Caribbean for a long time coaching, but I don't think the coaches really legitimately know how to coach a 200. But I haven't coached there in 15 years. I haven't swum there in 20, 25
Oh,
years.
don't come and back
So,
off of it.
but-
You're gonna say it. Say it.
But it's fairly, yeah. A lot of the athletes are good for the 50 and the 100. I haven't seen a decent 2 or 4 swimmer come out of the Caribbean since Janelle Atkinson,
Oh,
the 400 freestyle.
Sebastian.
Oh, my brother, my brother, my other brother George Ravel. These guys can swim, but they all honed their pedigree outside to get from the Caribbean itself. Name, I can't think of it. I mean, it's that the milers, open water swimmers. It's hard to do that without basing.
All right.
The world
Stand
of swimming has moved on.
It has. Standouts from the meets. So we talked about disappointments. Anyone really stand out or
I don't actually know how to say his name. Is it Diner?
Kristen Dana.
I had no idea who that was.
don't look at me, man.
He was so
If you
good.
look at me for a name, I
Yeah.
got nothing.
He was so good. Yeah. Heinz as well.
It's no. I mean, he won the 2 IM, but he bombed it in the 4 IM.
Christian Dina was strong.
I mean, Diener
Third
was
to 100.
strong. Diener.
How Dina left Guido on that last 5th day of those skins.
Well, do you think that was? People were saying that
planned
they had a strategy where it was like, hey, you rock the
Oh,
first
yeah.
2, steal everyone's points, and then whatever, I'll steal your points at the end. We're on the same team. Doesn't matter
Oh.
if you get last by a mile. So Guido just sold out the first 2,
That's cool.
which is interesting. Gets back
When
to
did they
the
split the money?
well, that's the other
There's
thing.
a big pay difference between those.
It is. It is. Do you guys
Yeah,
look
yeah.
at the payments that people are making
Yeah.
at all? So, I mean, I thought it was interesting. I mean, I
I'm
looked
in
up.
it for the love, not for the money.
I looked up like someone like Shields. who won, I think, 2 events, was on a few relays. They got like 3rd and 4th. I think he made like $8,000 on the weekend, which I was like, all
Pretty
right.
good.
Yeah, exactly. And he had a good meet.
Yeah.
I mean, those are big swims, and I'm trying to think what the most someone brought home was. Maybe like
Oh,
15
this
to 20,
weekend?
or just
Yeah,
15 or 20, somewhere in that range.
yeah, I think that's about the max.
That
you
money's
can get.
gonna last them though. What's the last time they earned any money swimming if they're not sponsored?
Well, I mean, the thing is, the people. I don't know what Shield's personal situation is, but you've got, people. Let's just say like of the Dressel caliber, where you're best swimmer in the world, and you've got contracts with large sponsors who are funding you at a different level, where ISL money is play money, but it's not. You're not dependent on it.
Yeah,
Where you've got, it's pretty quick. But swimming's always been that way, where you've got this top tier, and then it's a very steep decline
quick.
to the next level, and it's that next level that are cashing in on. Again, I don't know what his situation is,
Still.
but just as an example, it's like, yeah, if it's 8,000, 10,000 for a meet like that, it's a pretty good haul.
Big time.
And even if you're making like 3 or 4.
How much on a World Cup would they be pulling? Does anyone know?
500, 1,000? I don't know for sure.
So-
I don't remember. I mean, I remember
you're-
making. I think the best I ever did at a Italian Grand Prix meet, so like a local one, was 3,500, something like that.
Oh, for the whole meet, not just per event.
Yeah, for the whole meet.
Brian,
Yeah.
if you sign with TIA, for instance, and say you are a national team, or say you're top 6 in the States, and you sign a TIA, what can you expect? I know you get a base salary, plus they will match your earnings for meets. I know a lot of sponsorships say you win 500, win gold, we'll match that. I mean, how much can you expect if you are signed a basic signee sponsor?
Man, it varies so much.
500 a month, 1,000 a month,
It's just
plus all merchandise.
Typically, those deals are so incentive laden.
Right.
That. Gosh,
wonder how
there's
they're
hardly a
I
standard.
wonder how they're putting ISL results in. If there's any incentive there.
Well, they all are.
There must be.
They all have the
Right.
ads. They all have the ads in front of the caps.
I guess that's true. But
I mean, Schmitty had Phelps written here. We had Arena. We had Froggy Pant. Not Froggy
yeah, I
Pant.
mean, I know they're wearing their stuff. This is such a new thing.
I mean, it's a new
I guess
thing,
they have
but
to update their contracts and realize how much global view this is getting, right?
yeah, I mean, for sure, last year was probably an unknown, but I bet there was something part of it.
Sure.
And
So just-
they were probably just
And then
making some rough projections about what it
sure,
would mean.
viewership and
But gosh, it's like, it's out there, and it's all that's happening right now, and you
It's
got
worldwide.
a ton of worldwide,
So
elite
CBS,
swimmers.
CBC.
yeah, I really
BBC,
am intrigued to
BNN.
know how
Like,
this is doing
To
worldwide.
a sponsor, I don't know why it would be a whole lot different than something like.
I mean, it's getting more than like a World Cup for damn sure,
Dude, it
or
was on
a U.S. Grand Prix,
CBS,
right?
9 o'clock on Sunday morning. It was on CBS. I mean, that's pretty legit.
Like on legit live on CBS.
Yes, live.
See, I'm
There's NFL.
VPN in the.
So it was a
Canadian
CBS.
feed, I don't
No,
know.
but you could have got. Why don't we have any live people?
I don't know, man.
I don't understand. It's weird because there are 2 things that annoy me about the ISL. See, not annoy me. I'm disappointed. I can see improvements. 1, have you guys seen the accreditation badge? I've told you about this.
No.
Yeah.
So the accreditation badge is good, but I'll encourage you to look it up. The swimmer,
You don't.
the
need to
swimmer
look
is
it
like
up,
this.
man.
The catch is this.
Okay.
That's how like every
like, no,
stock swimming
no, this.
photo is, though,
It was
man.
a graphic. It was a graphic. But why? You
Fine, not like every freaking.
Okay. For those who are not watching, we don't swim like this.
No one
Are
knows.
you just talking about dropped elbow?
No one
Who
cares.
No, it's not drop
No
elbow.
one knows it.
It's
No
like
one cares.
Late for podcast. Please tell me that the accreditation photo for ISL annoys you. Not the photo, the graphic that's used. 2, I am not a fan of the capes. All the uniforms are the
These-
box. I like the boxing
Oh, I
idea,
don't like the capes.
but the boxing capes, that's not cool.
No, I don't like the capes. Or whatever, parkas.
I haven't really looked at it much. All I know is Carlene was like, "Man, that gear is pretty cool."
Bring these guys on if they are willing to join, if they're willing.
I'll harass some people, but so you hate the gear, the swag, at least
This-
the capes, and,
The
and you
capes,
hate
I don't like
this
it.
like freaking 1990 drawn little logo.
I like
No,
I like
the
the Cali
graphics are great.
Condors adopted the gold.
The graphics are great. It's just that I can't stand when they have an artist who doesn't know what even
Capes,
a catch.
They agree. Capes are a little much.
Yeah, you see.
They're calling back to Gary Hall, right? Brian, go come around and step on some capes, man.
I still can't believe Gary remembered that.
Go step.
See if our Latin American friends want to come on.
We're gonna try to bring you guys on. We'll see.
If I know it's late for you, might be.
Let's
off,
talk about the
but you can see
200
us.
swimmers in Latin America.
The 200 swimmers in Latin America.
Since we can't
they
get
wanna
any out
come
of the
on.
Caribbean.
They'll probably decline us, but anyways.
Yeah, I
let's
know
keep it
it's
rolling
late at
here.
night, so he goes.
Oh, here we go. They're bringing him on.
There he is.
Hey guys.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hey, where's your cape?
Oh, sorry, I forgot it's in the dryer.
Oh, there you go. Always need a fresh cape. Always need a fresh cape.
So nice to meet you. So you guys you swim in the States, but you're from Latin America, right? Is it Ecuador and Peru? Like, give me a background for you guys.
So I started the podcast originally. I'm from Mexico and I live in the U.S.
Yeah.
I came to the U.S. for college and swim. And my friend from Dominican Republic, I met in Florida training. And then we got a little overwhelmed with the podcast. So we had two friends take over as hosts for a season. And that kind of gave us time to prepare for the next season. So they finished second season a couple of weeks back. And then my friend and I took over again.
Are you the only Spanish-speaking swimming podcast that is out there?
Yeah, that's it. Just Spanish.
Yeah, but are you the only ones? Are there any from South America? Are there any from Spain or anything that you know of?
Yeah, there's a few. I know one from Dominican Republic. I think he's a coach, and there may only be one actually.
Yeah, see, there we go. So we have a Mexican swimmer here. Where did you swim in college?
I came up here for Lake Erie College first. I'm in Ohio right now, and then I transferred to University of the Incarnate Word my sophomore year, and then I finished there.
Nice, but he's an Ohioan guy right here. And I'm
Southwest
from the
Ohio, so a little further away from Lake Erie, but it's all good.
Right. Yeah, I'm a Cleveland, Akron area.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on the ISL and how it pertains to Mexico and Latin America? I'm not too familiar with how many athletes are competing from those regions.
I don't know none, right?
Not many. We have 4 Hispanic athletes.
Okay.
2 Argentinians in LA Current. That's Santi Grassi and Julia Sebastian. And then we have Tomas Peribonio from Ecuador. He's in
Nice.
Cali Condors. He was in Year Breakers last season, and he's with the Cali Condors today. And
Good
then
call, leaving the Breakers. Good call. Good call. I mean, go
I'm not-
Breakers. They're voted best. They were voted best logo
no
on
comment.
SumSwam. That rhino.
Yeah, I didn't like the logo. I like
What?
London
That was
Bowl.
voted best logo.
Yeah,
It was a
and
joke.
then
And then who else is there? Is there any?
no, we got one more. It's Christian Quintero.
Oh, of
He's
course,
gonna-
okay. Quintero from USC swimmer.
Yeah,
Right. So he's gonna
200,
be with
400
the
guy.
Tokyo Frog Kings. And
Oh, he's
then
on the
all the
pod.
Brazilians, they count as Latin American, but they're on a whole other level. They can win
Is
stuff.
Trinidad counted as Latin America?
Huh?
Is Trinidad counted as Latin?
I don't know.
Like technically, maybe. So Dylan Carter, maybe. Spanish is our second language. So
Let's hear it.
no.
Me llamo Luke.
Yo comprendo un poco, though. So.
But
what's
no,
your
the
against-
ISL. No, I was gonna say that huge fan of the ISL, and then I read that article that SwimSwam published on the Jackpot Times, and it made me think twice on my comment earlier in you guys' live show when I said I was a big fan of the Jackpots.
You're against it now, huh?
Yeah, it's a little that sucks for the bottom swimmers. It really does.
Well, we talked about it earlier and
Well,
how.
that sucks, but it's all about if you're first, you're last.
Well, I still think if they can reorganize, redraft, it will all work itself out, and I think it will do what it needs. So I think it all stems from that.
You have to
Personally.
raise the entire level of the swimming up there. And football is big in our cultures, right? In Mexico and in Trinidad. And
Soccer?
and you get relegated if you're not good. You get relegated, you go
Right.
down to a different division. And that's why the Premiership is the best. And it keeps going. So, if you keep getting jackpotted, you either step your game up or you need to draft somebody else in there. I'm sorry. I have
It's
some
not
friends.
a draft.
Well,
right?
so we need to have a way of getting in
so
there.
everyone gets the same pay, but if your team wins, you get a huge bonus.
It just makes it extremely professional, I think.
Right.
I mean, it's the equivalent of getting benched or you're getting the points away. So I don't know. But what was from Sam's perspective? What changed your mind?
Yeah, I didn't read that piece.
Yeah.
So basically, we have 3 different points. I can remember everything exactly at the top of my head, but they did mention that there's no draft. They get the drafting from NBA and NFL and salary caps, which makes it a little bit more equal for all the teams, and they get how it doesn't work like that in European soccer. But the difference is that there's no multiple leagues that you can get relegated to in swimming or NFL or basketball, really. So that's their take on that, which makes sense. But like you say, you better step up your game, because if you're not fast enough, you're not doing anything, you know.
I think it's
So maybe
it's different elements.
maybe
So
It's just something different.
it makes the race for 7th and 8th exciting as well. Because like even though you're way behind, you still are pumping and working hard to finish. You haven't given up.
Yeah, because your points theoretically double.
How
Right.
many of us were asked to swim? I was asked to swim a 200 fly just to get the point. My coach didn't care how I finished. And that's you don't want to see that.
Well, and you had the Dennis Rapsis last year. Was it him? Yeah,
Yeah,
he showed up
who
with
just-
that Champions Series and loafed a 200 free, and he was like,
They got the
you know,
money.
I think it was him.
Yeah, it was definitely him.
Yeah.
So that I get that. Do you think that the times that they've, the jackpot times are pretty fair though? Like we're seeing it pretty even, or is it too biased to the middle distance stuff, and it's okay for the sprints? Do you think the times they've set have been working so far, in your opinion?
well, I know, I think they do a percentage for
Yeah, I
all
think
the
it's pretty
races.
fair.
So I don't know if they took into consideration how much of a gap it is really within sprint group and middle distance to go with that percentage, because like you say, maybe the percentage for sprinting should be smaller, because there's so many more people doing sprint than there are mid distance, you know.
I want to transition to Mexico swimming, because when I grew up, when we swam at Sitican, Mexico was the powerhouse. If we went to Mexico, we got dominated by them all the time. They always had great swimmers. And then if you went to, and then sometimes Ecuador came in and Peru. Who are the big Mexico swimmers right now? Where are they swimming? What's it like right now with Mexican swimming? Because you've had a really good history. You've had Olympic gold medalists. You've had, you got a strong history going back, but it's not been recent. What's going on with the state of Mexico swimming?
So Mexico swimming is really good when we're young, as kids. We're made swim a lot of yards. It wasn't my case. I actually took off after I turned 18. So I was one of the lucky ones, actually, because people go super fast at 13, 14, and then they get burned out really quickly. And then there's no really a program like there is in the U.S. to encourage older people or older athletes to keep going in their careers. In the U.S., the NCAA is fantastic. That's why I came up here. When you're going to college in Mexico and you tell your professor, hey, I'm going to a swim meet, they laugh at your face. Like, what do you mean? You better turn your assignment or you're going to not pass. So, yeah, Mexico swimming, it can be really it can be good when we're young. And right now we have some good people that are trying to qualify for Tokyo. We have them training, some of them in Mexico. We have a large group in Texas A&M with a pro group, and a couple of college athletes still. I know
those are the breaststrokers, right? That train with Beryl Gasteleo. Are they on? Wait, who are the breaststroke? Who's training at Texas A&M? Because I know they're breaststrokers there, but are they Mexican? Miguel.
Yeah, Mauro is there.
Yeah.
Hector Rubalcaba, he just got there. He graduated from high school and then went to Texas to train with them when he graduated. Then Angel Martinez.
Angel Martinez, that's right.
Yeah. The two. There are two Miguels. One of them is in Team Elite with Marsh, and the other one is training in Mexico. He was with Sergio in Virginia Tech I got to train with him for a little bit when I was there, but now he went back to Mexico and he's training with a different coach. But yeah, exciting to see how they do this season.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
What, before I go, what are you guys' background? Where are you guys? Like, I knew you probably used to swim, but I want to know.
So we all used to swim.
Yeah.
I was by far the best.
At a certain age.
At a certain age. When I was,
age 46. No one has.
when I was
reached
10
his
years
skill
old,
at
I was
46.
faster than both of them because I'm 10 years older than them. But yeah.
Right.
So I'm from the Caribbean. I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. I swam in Montreal in Canada. And I swam for my country for many, many, many years. And I was a sprint freestyler. John?
Yep, I swam, grew up in Dayton, Ohio, swam at Purdue. Then after that, got my doctorate in physical therapy and run a clinic that does strength and conditioning and PT that works with a lot of swimmers.
Yeah, and I swam at Auburn and was on the U.S. national team for a number of years around the 2007 through 2009, 10, 11.
What was your name again?
Actually, one of my last meets is in Guadalajara.
Oh,
Pan
in
American Games.
Oh yeah.
Free
I didn't make that one. I made the next Pan American Games, but not Guadalajara. I tried.
Yeah. His name is Brian
that's good.
Lundquist. Yeah, that's what your name was.
Oh yeah.
Brian Lundquist. Yep.
Didn't know your face, but I knew your name.
There you go. Remembers the times.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't know
Hey,
about the
thanks. Good
time.
to chat with you.
Name, yes.
Yeah, it's important to us to take swimming outside of, beyond. So I really appreciate the partnership. We have some friends who in Italy, I think they're on right now in Italian swimming. I love the fact that the Latin American community is in there as well. I think it's really important that we spread the word of swimming. So it's what we do have here in the States, we take it out, and what out of the States comes into the States and all around the place. So, I appreciate the job you guys are doing. I understand 5% of what your podcast is, but kudos, man, and keep it up. That's awesome. For sport.
Right.
That's
Thank
what we
you.
want.
You too, guys.
All right,
That's
guys.
cool that there are so many different podcasts about swimming.
Yeah.
I know, but yeah, keep it up. We love the sport, so appreciate it. Man.
So do we. All right, guys.
All right, have a good night, man. Take care.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I think it's fun to hear the perspective from people in a lot of different areas in the world, right? And he's like, he can rattle off so quick the number of Latin American swimmers and not only Mexican swimmers, but he knows exactly where they are and what's going on with them. And I think that's cool. There's just so much pride that you as kids have, or people that's like, if it's, I think we're definitely. What's the word? Just at an advantage and probably a little too close to it to appreciate the level of swimming. I for sure am that I've been privy to throughout my life. And it wasn't until I got closer to getting into the NCAA where I realized how many international swimmers there were. I remember going to NCAAs when I was in high school, as a junior in high school, and watching Anthony Irvin and Roland Schumann swim head to head in the 50 free. And but
That's a privilege.
Yeah, man, it was. Yeah, it really was.
That's
Yeah, it was a pro watching.
genius.
Hey, you can go 1905 and break out before the flags.
There you go. That's impressive. That is impressive.
That is what I learned
And
in that
then
meet.
18 years later, win a gold medal.
Yeah, and then win a gold medal that much longer.
With the same
2002.
breakout.
Yeah.
But the point you're
Sure.
making, which a lot of viewers don't realize, is Aaliyah Atkinson had a great race this weekend. She was
Which
on the-
one?
Exactly. She was on the front page of the Jamaica Observer today, and you have a picture of her
Yeah.
swimming breaststroke saying London Roar. That's like being in the front page of the New York Times because you won gold. That's how big these athletes are in their home country. You don't realize that.
And that's where maybe just the more
What's up,
frequent
Adrian?
racing, right? The more frequent racing is how often would she be on the front page of that? Every 4 years.
And also-
or maybe
Yeah.
every 2 years. And now maybe it will be every other week or every week for a period.
But
And
you know
maybe
how-
that just keeps not only people interested, but builds this up where younger swimmers from these areas want to do swimming, right? Or want to be great at it and can see that. So, like I said, I'm really intrigued to see how ISL is doing internationally.
Start training to be a great skin.
But you know what I also saw?
That is my thing.
Aaliyah Atkinson, world record holder. Did she win world champs? I don't remember. She got her first sponsor in many, many, many years just this summer. Can you imagine? You just gave her a sponsor and you've established you did, and you normally get sponsored and paid after you achieved.
Mhm.
That's not when you need to, and that's the thing we've
Yeah,
always
it's
had a problem.
backwards.
That's how it
It's
is.
true in other sports, though. A lot of them.
Everything, I
You got a
think, right?
contract here, you go to get paid.
But
Yep.
Sorry, Dak.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true.
That's the way it works.
But anyway, so yeah, I'm intrigued to see where it is internationally because I don't know. In the States, I still don't think ISL is doing that well. Even with like the swimming fans or like high school swimmers and all that. So I hope it's doing well internationally or doing better here because I love it.
I think it's really cool. Yeah.
Right? I literally love it, and I love seeing the fast swims and love watching all of it.
What else does it need to get to the broader audience so that my friend Adrian, who's on this right now, to watch it? He's a sportsman. He likes track and field.
Yeah.
What else does it need? It's on CBS live prime time. You have one of the best voices, the most known voices commentating.
Yeah,
Graphics out of it. Reaction times 0.49 and 50-meter backstroke starts and stuff like that. It was,
For Switkowski against Murphy, that was great. But I don't know what else does it need.
we got it just needs something for the
Well, I think figuring out
backstories.
who
you have
the
to care.
audience is still, right? Who is the audience? Is it ultimate swim fans or is it the general public?
You know why NBC does well at the Olympics? Because they do backstories. Brian Lundquist, he was born in so and so.
I thought it was because of the blue screen. Everybody said it's the blue screen just looks so nice.
It does.
You
So
have,
nice.
you have to get to know your
It kinda
characters.
does.
So we need more development. We need some shows where like the fans are very passionate about it and get those shows on TV to get them pumped up. Do you know any like good fan shows that'd be good on TV?
Let's start a Bay Area ISL club.
There you
Because
go.
I mean, why do you
Fantasy
get
football.
well? Why do you get into sports to begin with? You get into sports because of community, and then you become a fan because
People are
of
talking
community,
about it,
and then you
people-
start to develop an interest in the
That's right.
actual sport.
That's right.
But even as a kid, like before you ever start playing a sport, you're probably watching games, or you had people in your life who was like your mom or your dad into that
You're
sort of thing.
You're an X fan. And you're like, cool,
Yeah,
whatever that is.
right. Yeah, yeah, exactly. You're kind of like from
Figure
that
it out
point
later.
on, you're in this tribe.
Yep.
And
So you have to get the tribe aspect. Is why I have to care that.
which is why
that
I
makes
think it's
sense.
important the
Yeah.
team thing. What you're talking about the logos earlier,
Yeah.
like these cities and teams that are associated with this nebulous kind of just mythical city. It doesn't exist. It's not tied to anything.
Well, I did have a 10-year-old patient show up with a Cali Condor shirt
No way.
yesterday.
You should have
Nice.
taken a picture. And
His
took-
mom is so into swimming.
You
I
should have
think
taken
she's
a picture.
driving
Where'd
it.
you get that from?
I mean, that's awesome, but I think
Right?
it's just
so
like
that's
we're in
like
the
where it
infancy,
goes, right? Like
And,
that's how it has to.
and that's never existed for swimming outside of what you usually have was the high schoolers or younger kids who are
We'll have
wearing-
Auburn swim shirt. or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's just college programs.
But yeah, it's got to start getting out there,
So now you got an
wearing
opportunity
capes,
to build it with
all
other
that stuff.
teams.
You need your cape. Those capes are ugly, and I haven't seen a single swimmer wear
I'm
that
gonna
cape
buy
on
you a
deck.
cape.
I haven't seen a single swimmer wear it on deck. I mean, honestly, get some nice design. It reminds me of like in 2000 when the U.S. had that terrible design of an
Oh.
opening ceremony, and then we went to Ralph Lauren. But they had some terrible things, man.
So this is why I think that it would be important for there to be, in some of the key countries. So you've got some teams, you got a Canadian team, you got a Tokyo team now, you got some teams in Europe, and then for the ones in the U.S., I think they should have split them up geographically.
Right time.
And you had
And
a
they need a
Midwest,
city.
West Coast to Southeast, and
Yeah,
East Coast,
And
and
have a
Mid-Atlantic.
conference. Yeah.
And then if you do that, then it's like that's our local team. It doesn't
Correct.
matter if they're based in Indy and you live
Yeah.
in Chicago.
It's the closest
it's,
one.
It's
That's
your
your team.
closest team, and that's
Big
your
time.
You get
team.
behind them.
And they're going to host a meet every year or frequently.
Yep.
And so it grows enough so that you can travel to those cities, or at least you know that they're going to be in the region and they're going to be live in your time zone.
Are you guys supporting any team? I'm not supporting any one team.
No.
No, they
And you
definitely should have done that. If there was maybe, I don't know if I'd ever support one thing, but if there was like you said, Indy, DC, Texas, California,
What's the biggest rivalry?
or
right now?
Florida team.
We need a rivalry too. You need an enemy, and you need a like what's the rivalry right now? Who do we hate? Who do we love? I mean, you had the Cowboys and Niners. You have the Giants and the Eagles, right? In football, you need a rivalry.
I don't know.
They
Should ask some of the swimmers. I mean, it's pretty early, and you've had a lot of switching teams, but
Yeah.
I'd say the rosters were somewhat stable from the year before, even though we had.
We're too
Mostly,
nice and too
right?
friendly.
We are, and I think
See, this is why the point stealing is good.
maybe it will.
Yeah,
It'll
because
create
it's going to
enemies.
instigate a little bit of conflict.
We took our points.
Yeah,
Big time.
no, for real. Like, get people mad. I'm tired of getting my points stolen.
Exactly. Give me back my points.
I don't like it. Coach benched me.
Imagine you come third and get points stolen, but you know what? Let's step up then.
That's pretty rough.
Yeah.
But I guess you're right. I mean, you got beat by whatever. What is it in the 50 freely?
25 in men.
Yeah. I mean,
You get
If
beat
you
by
get beat by that much,
and you're
25,
third.
you ought to be crying.
You should be
about it.
losing
you
those
should
points,
be
Yeah,
right?
but you
taken
think
away.
about it. So Caleb, so Flo went 20.6. So you have to go faster than 21.4.
I mean, most of those
How many
guys
people
are
doing 21.4? You should.
not Ben Proud, not
So-
Laveau,
So therefore, you
Yeah.
shouldn't be a pro. You shouldn't. Yeah, I think it's okay.
but that's their event.
I think it's okay. I think
If
you
it's
should.
your event, you should be able to do
Right,
it.
shouldn't you be expected to go 21.4 if you were swimming a 53 for this? That's what you expect to do. 21.4.
I don't know, man. In my day, I went 21.4 and I was top seed in prelims at Worlds.
No, yeah,
So
but
whatever, we had
so-
the 5%
Yes.
increase over time,
over
right?
time, over
But-
time.
But if it's your event and you're on a team, you shouldn't be getting jackpotted, right? Like if you're doing an off event, all right, maybe there's a little more grounds for it. But that's I think what they're trying to get at. You're a pro swimmer. You have to perform, right?
And they're also doing it also for the audience. They don't want to have people lagging way behind and
Yeah.
looking like
It's all
You
for
know,
the
like-
audience, right?
and laughing at the slow swimming.
They still claim this is for the general public, or that's like their audience. Like they want to go after everyone. So yeah, they having someone get beat by 25, it's just like, all right, finish already.
Yeah.
We don't care about
I
you.
mean, it's not going to be a premium sport, but I mean, shoot, they've been showing Grand Prix meets or pro swim series meets on TV, and there's a place for that.
Definitely.
I mean, shoot, I've watched bowling. I don't
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it, but it's there, and
Yeah, yeah.
I've played it.
They
And it's like,
explain the rules well.
I mean, yes. So is running the easiest sport to associate with? Yes, because everybody's got, everybody's got, feet and shoes, and they can imagine themselves running. Swimming, just by nature, we're not aquatic creatures, and so there's a little bit of foreign, to it that's not something that everybody can associate with.
Yep.
But I mean, I think that evolves, and and then there's the familiarity with it too. It's something that people are only used to seeing it on TV or in the public eye once every 4 years,
Yep.
or what's scattering around, and you hear Phelps's name and in between, but Phelps and Lochte are the only names that or Ledecky,
Yeah.
and then it's when's 2020, and so I think that maybe there's just oh shoot, swimming's on again, what's going on, and the frequency of it will help.
Do you think they should have made it more nationality emphasis, like one U.S. team? It doesn't mean
No.
they all have to be on the U.S. But
Italian.
I do think who from Canada isn't going to root for the Titans? Who from Japan isn't going to root for the Frogs?
Well, yeah, but I mean, there are still, heavily balanced that way on their roster.
They
So-
are.
See if they want.
But maybe there's maybe they have one team from the U.S. or just two teams from the U.S. Like you said, where it's like East Coast, West Coast. I don't know. I just think that I agree where
maybe if it's
the-
regional like that, but
I still think the teams and I think we're in agreement that they goofed up on some of the team stuff.
yeah, and I think no, because of the imbalance that would create amongst swimming nations.
Yeah.
I mean, just to call it what it is.
I think that's Luca.
I mean, we had.
Yeah, closer than the. I
I
mean,
don't know, how interesting did you think Duel in the Pool was?
Yeah, but don't you think Rowdy's made
Did
it?
you think that was interesting?
Yeah, not really.
I didn't.
it brought some pre-excitement, but I don't know. People want to see fast swimming.
Has Rowdy helped? The interaction with Mark. I think Mark Foster's great on deck, by the way. I think he's funny. I think he's
Yeah,
intelligent. He's
He's pretty good.
insightful. He sees a race. I mean, Mark Foster's one of the professors of swimming. So when I was growing up, so
No, I think he's doing really well. Rowdy is doing Rowdy stuff.
but he knows his stuff. He's doing his research. He's preparing.
Yeah.
He knows the
I
athlete.
mean, he's
Smart. He's reacting well.
Rowdy's having a good time, bringing excitement.
Bernie's doing
That's
really
what
well.
he's doing, right?
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good, and you?
Where are you calling from?
From Mexico.
Oh, there we go.
This is really unexpected. I mean, I'm literally here in the kitchen, and I was hearing your conversation, and here we are. How are you?
Home. How
Beauty
come,
of technology.
how come you're watching us? Is it because we had Lane 4 podcast on? Or
Yeah.
yeah?
Yeah, that was the reason. I was like cooking, and suddenly I saw the notification. He was live with you guys, and then I was okay. Let's hear. And the conversation you guys were having was really interesting. And actually, I thought like I'm gonna hear your podcast as soon as I finish cooking, and your live goes over.
What are you cooking?
Yeah, tell us about your connection to swimming.
Yeah.
Well, I used to be a high performance swimmer when I was 14 years old up to 18 years old. Then I became a high performance triathlete from 18 years old to 21. Then I quit the high performance sports because I did have you heard about the Disney College program?
Called the what program?
Disney.
The Disney College program. Like
Oh,
I
is it?
became
Tell
a
us.
cast member at Disney World because I was a lifeguard at Disney.
Oh, nice.
Nice, cool. Well, I got some
Because
things
of
to learn
swimming.
for triathlon. I gotta figure that out. If you're a high performance triathlete, that's big time.
Sorry again, my internet connection was poor.
I said I've got things to learn from you as a triathlete.
Well, I think that swimming gave me like a very good, let's say, foundation to deal with running and with the bike. And my favorite part of a triathlon was, of course, the swimming part.
Absolutely. So, what's your favorite part about the ISL?
The fact that swimming is becoming like a more popular sport every day. Like, so let's say in the future you will be able to watch the ISL, let's say in a bar, just like as if you were watching the NFL, the FIFA World Cup, and any other sport. That's what I really like because, well, at least in Mexico, swimming needs to be more like highlighted in the media and in general, not only like, sorry, that's why.
Fine, I have dogs too. So, does the Mexico press pay any attention? Is it at all in the news at all, or is it because there's no Mexican swimmers?
Mexican sports news tend to focus more like in football, soccer, or any other sport that it's not swimming. Swimming gets more media attention whenever it is about Olympics, about Central American Games, Pan American Games, and I think that the media needs to focus more in other sports, for example, swimming.
So did you watch the ISL, and if so, what was your favorite race or part of the ISL?
My favorite part, I think it's not like only one race or the matches, but the fact that we can watch like different days, like in the relay, I forgot the name.
Skins.
Sorry?
The skins. Maybe the skins.
Yes,
You
the
like
skins.
skins. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a different format than the one we are used to when watching for example, the Olympics, the FINA World Cups and stuff.
So if there's going to be, we're seeing expansion this year where there's a new team in Canada, there's a new team in Tokyo. So if there's a team, it seems like Latin America's next, maybe in Mexico. If you could start your own Latin American team, what would you call
That could be awesome. That could be awesome. I think that many Latin American swimmers have a really good level. For example, from Argentina, from Mexico, from Brazil.
Yep.
Well, from Brazil, we can see Bruno Fratus, who is actually in the ISL. For example, I can think of an Argentinian swimmer who is Delfina Pignatello. Well, I'm not sure how to pronounce her second name, but she's really good. She has attended Olympic Games, and like she's really good. Over here in Mexico recently, if you guys want to watch my Instagram TV, well, they're in Spanish, but I interviewed this guy who is called Ricardo Vargas. He's a really good swimmer. He does distance swimming, and I think he would also do a great role, sorry.
Well, we got to tell the coaches. Tell them.
Yeah, tell them.
If you could start your own team in Mexico, what would you call it? If you could start an ISL team, what would you call it?
I would call it. I don't know. That's a very good question. That's something to think about.
You'll have to get back to us. Let us know. Cool.
Sorry again?
I said you'll have to get back to us and let us know.
Yeah, think about it and let us know.
Sure, of course. I'm gonna type in a comment like, "Hey guys, I know the name for my team."
I got the name. I'm good.
We got it. Nice.
I'm gonna think it and I'm gonna tell you.
All right, we look forward to it.
Thank you for paying attention to us and
Thanks for
watching
hanging
us.
out.
Yeah, much love.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.